Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into the video, if you're new over here, I have two rules on this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and your credit score. The second rule is for you to always verify whatever it is you learn, whether it's at this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule of life. So before I get into the video, I want you all to do a couple of things. Number one, hit the like button. Number two, subscribe if you're not subscribed and you're feeling the vibe over here. Number three, become a member of this channel. This is something new that I'm referring to on this channel as far as being a channel member. I've made hundreds of videos on YouTube. This is free information that I've been giving out. And if you support this channel and are a supporter of this channel, not a fan, I don't do the fan thing or anything like that, but a supporter of Water Your Soil and the content that I put out, become a channel member. All you have to do is simply click on join and YouTube will walk you through the rest. Now getting into the video, this video is going to be about what I believe is the best pathway to get approved for credit cards. Now, this is a subjective video, by the way, but I'm going to lay out what I believe is the best way and why I believe it. So I have two questions to you all. The first question is, how do banks make money? Do you all know, without going to Google or going to search for it somewhere, do you know how banks make money? Banks make money, a great deal of their money, from lending. Lending money, whether it's through mortgages, auto loans, and personal loans. And guess what other way they make money? Lending through credit cards. Also, my second question is, if you were to loan money to someone, let's say you got a group of friends, you got family, whoever it is, which person are you going to loan money to? Is it going to be the person who's most trustworthy, or is it going to be the person who's least trustworthy? Also, if you were to loan money out, would you loan money out to someone that you know have a good history of paying you back? Or would you loan money to someone who's flaky and you don't know if you're going to get the money back? I think a great deal of you out there will say that you're going to loan money to the trustworthy person. You're going to loan money to the person with a history of paying you back. And it's always interesting to me how people don't use the same logic when it comes to credit cards in these banks. They'll say, hey, you just do this and you could get approved for a credit card, or you just do that and you'll get approved for a credit card. They always try to come up with some scammy scheme or some fluky way of getting approved for credit cards. But the truth is, getting approved for credit cards mainly comes down to two things, and I'm going to talk about them in this video. Now, when it comes to banks and the lending thing that I talked about earlier, and my question that I asked you all earlier, when it comes to debt to income ratio, that's mentioned a lot with mortgages. And when people are trying to get approved for home loans, that's mentioned often. It's also mentioned with auto loans. When people are trying to finance a car or lease a car, those questions come into play. The auto dealership, they want to know how much you make and things like that. Of course, they want to know your credit score, but they want to know how much you make. The thing that's mind-boggling to me is people believe that debt to income ratio matters in all of those instances with the bank, but when it comes to credit cards, it don't matter. You could just have any income and you just put in a special code or just follow a special method and you'll be approved for a card. I'm here to tell you all today, if you don't know, debt to income ratio matters with credit cards as well. And to further this, it touches on my whole point of this video. What I believe is the best pathway to get approved for credit cards, just about any credit cards. Of course, you got banks like Capital One, where if you have a high credit score, they won't approve you for a specific card. I think that's whack. I don't understand why banks do that. How can you punish someone for having a high credit score? That's not fair at all. A person with a high credit score and a good track record and a good credit report should basically qualify for any card that they apply for, especially if their income measures up. But that's beside the point. So when it comes to the best pathway to get approved for credit cards, the best way is to have your income be in a good range, your debt be in a good range, and your credit score be in a good range or excellent. Now, some of you may be wondering, like, what does that mean? So when it comes to debt to income ratio, it's basically a measurement of the income that you have coming in, whether it's from your job or wherever else. That's legit, of course. And the debt that you have, your bills, your rent, your mortgage, all of your bills. And what's left over plays a role in your debt to income ratio. So you want the amount that you have left over after you pay your bills from your income to be enough for these banks to be like, they could afford to have a credit card because, number one, they'll be able to pay us back. And number two, if they're not able to pay us back, eventually they will, because they have enough income coming in that they should be able to pay us back eventually. And in the meantime, we could get paid with this interest that we charge if they don't pay us in full on a month-to-month basis. So you want to keep in mind that having an income that far outsees your debt increases your chances for getting approved for a credit card. The other thing that I mentioned is your credit score. Now, of course, all credit scores aren't the same. I mentioned that in my previous video. If you haven't checked out my previous video, be sure to do so. It's a great video. But all credit scores aren't the same. Some people, they're authorized users on other people's credit account. Some people, they don't have a lot of credit card accounts. Some do. So all credit scores are earned in different ways, which goes to point 3, your credit report. Your credit report gets looked over. It's the reason why these banks do hard inquiries when you do apply for a credit card. They want to make sure that your credit score was earned in the correct way. They also want to make sure that you have been paying your bills the correct way, paying them on time, not being late, aka making sure that you're trustworthy. And they also want to make sure you are legit when it comes to borrowing and paying back. So those 3 things are really what you want to focus on. Your income, making sure your debt to income ratio is okay. Your credit score, making sure that your credit score is in a good or excellent range, and having a credit report to back up your credit score. Because some people, they just think, hey, if I have a good credit score, that's all that matters. My credit report could look like crap, but as long as I have a good credit score, that's all that matters. No, they're going to check your credit report as well. They're not just checking credit reports for your credit score. They're also checking credit reports to see if you're someone who's trustworthy and to see if you pay back whatever you borrow. So that's what I want to let you all know, what I believe is the best pathway. It's been the best pathway for me. It's been the best pathway for people who I helped over the years. And honestly, I believe this is the best pathway for majority of people. Of course, there'll be outliers. Of course, there'll be situations where someone with low income could get approved for just about any credit card, or someone who doesn't have a good credit score get approved for just about any credit card. But outside of the outliers, this is usually the most consistent way that people get approved for just about any credit card they apply to. Of course, there are outliers. You have the Capital One cards. You have the Amex Centurion card, which is the black card. There are outliers, but for the most part, this pathway usually works and has great results. But anyways, this is Water Your Soil. If you're new here and you're feeling the vibe, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video. That's clicking on that bell and selecting all. Also, this goes to every single one of you that's watching right now. Be sure to hit that like button. That's supporting me. That's supporting this channel. That's supporting this video. Hit the like button. The algorithm loves the like button. Also, as I mentioned earlier in this video, if y'all really support Water Your Soil, become a channel member. Join this channel. I'll be doing lives in the future specifically for channel members. So join this channel. I appreciate you all for watching. This is Water Your Soil, and I'm out. Hold on. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.